Alright, so I was taking the rocker assembly off, and turns out I had to take the shaft out of the exhaust rockers so I could get to the bolts. Yeah, it's just 2 bolts, and then this whole assembly just pops right off, just like so. So way different than a Volkswagen. It's got 1 shaft that runs down the middle and 2 bolts. So this is got this side off. Here's the shafts. They look pretty good. I don't feel any grooves. So I will have to mic them all and check that out. But there's those 2 rockers. They have 2 shims on each side to keep it snug. So, all right, let's take this head off. I ended up taking those out. They all came out without pulling the studs, which is awesome. I was kind of worried that they might pull the studs out of the case, but they came out just fine. These guys are quite a bit different than the Volkswagen. These are the nuts, and these guys go actually far in there and catch it. And then this is the top. So these go in here on the top. So I got those out just fine. We'll have to clean them all up. But now we're gonna pull this off. Hopefully it comes off real easy. And hopefully there's not too much rust in these cylinders, but we'll find out. Let's pull it out. It was a little stuck, but I think I got it. And there she is. I'm kind of afraid to look at it. It's not, definitely had some water in there, but I've seen worse. All right. So yeah, it definitely has some water damage. Unfortunately, it was on cylinder 4 and 3, or 3 and 4, that had the majority. I don't even know if it's savable. That's not. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Shoot, that's a bummer, but it is what it is. So we'll pull these guys out. Oh yeah, you can see the recess for the valves right there. That's kind of cool. So, all right, we'll pull these cylinders off and then do the other side. And then we'll move on to getting this case out. This case halves off. And yeah, that's up next. I want to be really careful not to bust the fins off. Kind of tap it. Kind of wiggle it back and forth. These guys are pretty stuck. There we go. Be careful not to get all that dirt in there. Woo. All right, there we have it. There's the inside. Trying to see it. I can actually see some cross hatches in there. So this engine's fairly new, newly rebuilt. Well, was maybe 15 years ago. But that was a long time ago, and unfortunately it sat, so. All right, just the same thing to the other one, then pull the pistons and move to the other side. both sides off. Went pretty good. This side was harder to get the jugs off, but they came off eventually, so nothing too major. This engine turns over really nice. So I'm excited to see exactly where the bearings are at, because that feels pretty good. Pretty tight. So overall, this engine's pretty tight, and looking forward to taking the halves apart and seeing how the crank looks and all the bearings. So all right, stay tuned. That's next coming up.